Hey YouTube, this is your boy Jay-Z Bottom Lip, and I got a new video for you guys talking about armor break. Armor break is something that was implemented in Mortal Kombat 1. It's nothing, something old or anything like that. This is something that was implemented in this game only. And I kind of found out about it earlier, but for those people who don't know about armor break or anything in particular, I wanted to explain it to you guys. So basically, every character has a string that can break armor. I'm using Tanya for an example because she also has one, and Omni-Man has one. But I also wanted to use Tanya because I know people would say that her armor's broke. It's kind of annoying. You kind of lose your turn, especially when she's paired with Goro. She can just wake up for free, basically, and then she can even be plus where she can take her turn after being negative. And I know that can be very frustrating. So a lot of times when she's done a certain string, you can kind of like break her armor. And then on top of that, you can break it while she's on the ground as well. So not only is it good for breaking armor on the ground, but it's also good when your opponent does a negative string that leaves them like -5, -6, around that area. You can kind of use a string that can break their armor if they decide to do such. So basically, I wanted to show you guys, and I'm going to keep this video very short and very brief. So basically, right, depending on what string you use, it can give you enough hit advantage where you can go into a move that breaks armor. So I want to make it very clear that not every interaction are you guaranteed to go into an armor break move unless you have a very fast string and your opponent is, giving you enough respect where you can go into that. So basically what I'm saying is that not every interaction that you when you're fighting your opponent is when you're able to break their armor. It might sometimes trade, and then on top of that, sometimes you might not even get through it because they could be like -5, they could be -2, or whatever the case might be. Like -5 is kind of like the sweet spot, but in reality, some armors are faster than others. Just like Johnny. Johnny has an 8-frame reversal. Some characters have 20 or 15 or 16. So it's very hard and it differs. But what really matters is the hit advantage. So sometimes, depending on what character you're using, it determines the hit advantage and then the startup of your following move that goes into it, right? So basically, I wanted to show you guys. So I'm using Omni-Man for an example, and then I also said Tanya to wake up with her reversal, right? This is her wake up armor, right? So after this move, I can just break her armor like that. So basically, I can get a full combo off this, and I don't have to deal with her, right? So like after I knock her 3 down, I don't have to be scared of her, basically. And it goes the same way with Tanya as well. Every character has to go quicker, and you can break armor that way, just like that. And if you're using a cameo, depending on what cameo you're playing, and this comes with adaptation, depending on what kind of player you're fighting against, and they like to wake up armor, a lot of times, you can pair it with a character that does really good with it, just like that, right? So just to be clear, I want to show you guys, because I don't want people to think I'm just saying things and I don't know what I'm talking about. So basically, you do this, and you can break the armor, right? And like I said, every character has it. Some characters have like standing ones. Not every character has a string where they can just like do a low like Tanya does. Some characters have highs. Like Rain has a 2/2 string that breaks armor. But again, I want you guys to go figure out what your character's armor break is and let me know in the comments. Also too, if you can't figure out who it is or what character that you're playing with, you don't know what their armor break is, try to figure out. The only character that's kind of annoying to figure out if you can break their armor is probably like Johnny or Shao Kahn. Just for the simple reason that like they're really fast. They're actually really fast. So I hope this is helpful for those who's trying to figure out how to oppress their opponent or keep their turn going, especially on hard knockdown. This is also an OS for median as well. So your opponent is most likely going to delay wake up, or they're just going to try to wake up, or they're just going to block. But this OS is all those options because you're mediating them, essentially breaking their armor, if that makes sense. So again, I advise everyone to go figure out what it is that makes their character armor break good, and then sometimes try to complement off their armor break. What can I get off of an armor break with my character? I just showed you what Tanya can get. I showed you what Omni-Man can get. Those are really good as well. Actually wanted to show you guys what it looks like, especially when your opponent is -5. Remember I was telling you like -5 is kind of like that sweet spot where sometimes you can or can't, depending on how fast your startup move is on block against your opponent. So like for an example, right, this move right here is -5. This move right here in particular is -5, and I believe Peacemaker move right here is 14 frames, so it's kind of hard to use. If you really want to break that armor right there, you would need something like a 7-framer, and it needs to be multi-hitting really fast. This character in particular does not have that, so you're not always guaranteed an armor break on reversal, right? So the best thing I can tell you is usually when your opponent is like -6, -7, that's the sweet spot for any string that's like 14 frames, 13 frames, startup, and it's an armor breaking move. Do be aware that your opponent can mash on wake up with a down 1, depending if your move is a high. So, you know, again, keep that in mind. One of the things I wanted to show you is if she decides to do something like this. Hold on, see if I do it right. Right, so like right here, see how she armored there. You can do things like this. You can break her armor. It's kind of hard, but once you figure out the timing for it, you can break her armor as well. That's usually what I was getting at, as far as in like some characters will trade depending on what character that you're using. If I wanted to, right, if I wanted to make an example out of this, right, I'm going to use Kung Lao because I love Kung Lao, and I also think that Kung Lao's 2-1 is very good, very good. So let's go ahead and use that, right? See what it looks like.
Goro, Temple of Kataravala.
So here, this is one of the strengths, I would say, of this character, is that you can do things like this now. Right? So, say my opponent does the string, they want to armor after, right? So, you can break armor just that way as well. Again, this is a time that you're going to have to practice, and a situation that you're going to practice. This is not something that you can just be like, oh, okay, I see how you did that, and then apply it in game. Something that you need to practice the timing for it and understand when you can press your button as soon as possible. Again, like I said, I wanted to keep this video very short, very brief. I wanted for you guys to go figure out what it is that makes your character strong in a sense, as far as in armor breaking, on hit, on block, which means on hard knockdown. So when your opponent is knocked to the ground, what is your armor break? And then on top of that, what is your sweet spot as far as a -5, -3, -7, whatever it is, where your opponent or your character is allowed to armor break your opponent for trying to reversal after they did a move in particular. But that's about it for this video, guys. I appreciate it if you guys like and comment. And again, leave a comment below about your character and what your armor breaker is. And if you can't find one, just let me know and I'll help you guys. Yeah. Have a good one.